Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Platform Podcast. A little bit different today. It's just me. Amrit's not in the office today. He's with his family. But I'm joined by a very special guest, Zack. How are we?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Oh, living the dream, mate, like always. So this morning I just picked Zack up from the airport. Obviously, Zack's a very, very talented golfer from Napier. And he's committed to and signed to go to the University of Florida come August. Mate, how does a golfer from Napier end up going to University of Florida? Give me the background into kind of your story, where you came from. Teach this audience, because I know there's a lot of young golfers that watch this and kind of must look up to you. So just give us a bit of background, man.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Napier, it's a pretty small town, so there's not really many like noticeable kind of kids around it. So how we got into the college system, so me and my dad, it was always going to be the way, going to go to college. And we reached out to you guys, and I think it was like start of year 11.
Mm-hmm.
So we got onto it pretty quick. So we got onto the college side pretty quick, and we talked to a few schools at first. We got to talking to about 4 schools, got a few offers, and then I was about to sign to one of the schools, and then Florida came up, and so they wanted to come over and visit. So we set up a time, and then Cyclone Gabrielle hit.
It did.
It hit very well. So that hit, and we were a bit iffy on if he was going to come over or not, or will we be able to see him or get the deal signed. But we managed to get him over, and I had to use one of the members set of clubs because mine was stuck in the trailer shed back home. But managed to scrap away and got a good offer. Went out for dinner and we signed the deal. So that was how we got it.
Unreal. Like what's going through your head at that point? So this big time, like University of Florida, what is top 5? Yeah. Even wasn't it number 1? I don't know.
Yeah, last year.
Number 1 ranked school in the country, in the US, in college, and you know that the coach is flying out here to come watch you play. Cyclone hits, you lose your clubs. Like, what's going through your head? Are you like, crap? Like, this is this is it. Like, what are you thinking? How do you navigate that stress?
It was weird because you kind of had to worry about your people back home, because my family, a couple of houses got lost.
Yeah.
So it's hard to manage them, but also you got to manage. Okay, I've got to fly out this afternoon to go play a Charles Tour event where coach is coming to watch me play. Yeah. It was pretty weird because you got to think about your family, but then you got to think about what's coming up for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just it was pretty stressful. So me and Dad, we tried to go get our clubs out of the trailer shed back home, but we couldn't do that. So they rushed back over the bridge, rushed to the airport, flew me out, and we met up with the coach, and that was it.
What did you shoot? Do you remember what you shot that round? So you were using rental clubs under a lot of stress. Cyclone just hit your families, or what did you shoot?
I think it was like 69, 68.
69, 68. There we go.
Somewhere around there.
So there you go. If you want to go to the University of Florida, that's how you do it. But no, so look, I guess you mentioned at the start you got onto the process early. Like how important do you believe it is getting onto the process early?
It's real important. Because we thought if we got onto it early, we'll get to more schools, you get more opportunities. Your name will be out there before a lot of other kids, because a lot of kids go in like start of year 13, end year 13, and it's not enough time to get a good school or get your name out there. We talked to a few kids from around New Zealand who went to college,
mm-hmm.
And they say just get in early, because it's going to give you the best opportunity to be able to get over to a good school in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So we listened to people that have already gone over there, and we got onto it early, and
Magic. And I guess, for those of you guys watching and listening that don't know who Zack is, Zack's probably one of the top young golfers coming through the country at the moment. And I guess with that, me and Amrit, when on this podcast, we talk a lot about, dealing with the pressures and dealing with the stresses of being a student athlete. I know we kind of talked about it in the car on the way back from the airport, but I guess from your side of things, having all those, I guess the lights and the Instagram reels from New Zealand Golf and, University of Florida, it's a massive program, what are your kind of processes that you go through to deal with all the lights and all the glam and all the, I guess, the pressure?
Yeah. You just got to kind of stick to I try to stick to my morals, stick to myself. At Napier Golf Club, we got a lot of junior golf.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to be a good role model to them and try to create a good pathway for them to look up to. And the pressure is there. It always is there, but you just kind of have to fight ways around it and just be true to yourself and do what you want.
Yeah,
what you like.
because it is awesome, and I mean, I guess some of the opportunities that you've been given, playing at the US Junior Amateurs, winning the Aussie Junior Amateurs, like I guess, how do you deal with those high pressure situations for like young golfers that are watching this, being like, I want to go and play in these big tournaments, even starting smaller, Charles Tours and under 16 national age groups and like building their way up. Like, how did you navigate that process? So from the age of, 14, 15, thinking, okay, I'm going to start taking golf seriously now. This is what I want to do. This is I want to go to college. I want to go to a top D1 school. Playing in these tournaments, like, what's your mindset going into them? Like, do you worry about the outcome? Are you looking at the next tournament, or what do you do? Do you focus on the shot that you're playing? Like,
so that's a good question. So me and my coach Andrew from Napier, we had a sit down a while ago, and he explains it to me as it's the process, it's not the outcome. Many kids like worry about the outcome and what happens. Oh, what if I do this? Oh, what if I did this?
Yeah.
It's all about the process. So if you get the process right and you keep working and do the process correct, the outcome's going to be the outcome. You can't control the outcome. So as long as you do the routines, do the basic stuff, do the process right, I mean, you're all go to go into the tournament.
That's good advice. I mean, you can actually apply that to, any sport.
Yeah.
Any sport at all. Like, we get a lot of athletes that come to us and they go, I want to go D1. I need to go to a top D1. This is what I need to do. And the reality is, like, yes, that can be your goal.
Yeah.
But the outcome is going to control itself.
Yeah.
You've got to focus on the process, whether that's starting in Division 2, going the JUCO route. There are a lot of different avenues you can take. Obviously, that wasn't your pathway because you were fortunate that you had the tournament scores and that kind of caliber to get into these programs. But what kind of advice would you give, young golfers that are sitting here going, I want to play at the University of Florida. I'm not good enough yet. Maybe I'm shooting in this, mid to high 70s. Like, how would you what would you tell them in order to kind of get to the level you're playing at now? What tools do you use? What kind of, I guess, advice would you give them?
It's basically just discipline.
Discipline?
You got to work yourself. You got to get to work. I've been playing golf for 14 years, and you never miss a day of golf. Mm-hmm. Golf's a sport where you need to practice every day. You need to want to get better. Because it's just discipline. You got to get yourself to work. Go to the gym, work out, get stronger. Go to golf. Stay there till dark. Get your phone torch out. It's just little things that add up over time. I mean,
How often, during the last 5 years or since high school, how many times a week are you playing golf?
I'm out every day.
Every single day, whether that's, and I guess, do you just go out there and play, or are you going out there with a routine?
Yeah.
Are you going out there, okay, I've got to work on my chipping today, or, it's only putting today? Like, how do you train? Like, what kind of training process do you go through?
I go off stats. So we have an app called UpGame. Mm-hmm. That was given to us by NZ Golf. So say you go out on Saturday and Sunday, you play 18 holes or 36 holes, you put the rounds in, and it gives you data. So putting could be you're losing 5 shots, and off the tee you could be gaining 2. So that means I need to work on putting because I'm losing 5 shots. So then you go out on the week, work on putting, work on the things that are like, how would you say it? Not improving your game.
Yeah.
You got to improve your game. So I rely on stats, and I just go through the basics. We have a track man. I go on the range, see what my swing path is, and my swing paths and the correct numbers that I like. I'll go there. That's good. Just go to a few balls, and it's just experience and competition. Like we got a lot of juniors out at Napier Golf Club, and we go out play 9 holes about twice a week after school. Go there, play for 50, 100 push-ups, just a bit of fun, but it's competition. And then if you go play tournament golf, it's always going to be competition. So it just kind of teaches you how to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is like, and practicing how you play. I think that's really key.
Yeah.
A lot of guys just think, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go out, like myself, for example. I'm just gonna go out and hit some balls at the range and hopefully get better.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you know, you've got a lot more that goes into it to play at that next level.
Yeah.
You know, you've really got to break it down. And I love that you mentioned stats because, you know, it is a stats-based sport. You know, it is how far can you hit it?
Yeah.
You know, how many shots are you missing?
Yeah.
You know, all of that kind of jazz. So, you know, on that note, like how important is your coach in a game like golf? Because we've got some athletes, you know, sitting here watching that, you know, maybe don't have a coach. They try to do it by themselves. Like, how important is it for you having a good coach? And I guess, how did you apply that to your college recruitment process when deciding on the school you wanted to go to? How important was the coach being a factor?
The college coach?
Yeah, the college coach, as well as just having a coach in general.
Yeah, so my coach in general, Andrew, he was a big part of it. He's a big part of everything. He's like a second dad to me. So we got a really good relationship. We go out and we just have a bit of fun and got a really, really good relationship with this, Andrew. And with the college coach. So when we went over and visited the college in July last year, Andrew came over with us and we went into the school. We had a look around the school, got to know the coaches, went out for dinners. Just got to know each other really, really well. So we kind of have that connection between the two.
It is super important being able to connect with your coach. And that's what we tell a lot of people because, you know, even when you're over in the US, you know, coach is going to be like your first point of call, I guess you could say. You know, you're in a different time zone. Mum and dad aren't going to be there. You know, if you need something done urgently, coach is going to be the guy you go to. And I guess, how excited are you for the University of Florida? You know, it's a big time program. We've got a swimmer there, Melissa Cohen. Like, how excited are you?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Really, really looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. Especially this year, you finish school and you got about 4 or 5 months just doing a bit of work, doing a bit of practice, trying to just kind of keep your game on. It's great.
Save a bit of coin.
Yeah, save a bit of coin, and I'm really looking forward to it. Just it's time for a change up, and you're ready for the next journey.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, awesome. And you know, when it comes to, you know, the social media aspect, so social media is becoming a massive part of sport, just in general. College sport, especially with NIL coming out and, you know, athletes gaining the ability to make money through their sport. So, you know, are you planning on building your social media and, you know, giving back in that sense? Like, what's kind of your plan around building your brand? Golf is absolutely skyrocketing through social media with, you know, good. We talked about this in the car, and Bryson DeChambeau putting out a lot of content. You know, is that alleyway something that you want to go down, or are you just planning on sticking to your golf? Like, how are you navigating that?
It's a tough one. Like, for me, I'm not a huge social media guy. That's not part of my day-to-day stuff. I'm not really like into that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's very, very popular nowadays, so it could be an idea down the future. I mean, a few of the NZ boys are starting up a YouTube account and social media stuff, so they're doing pretty well. But yeah, I think for starters, I'm just going to stick to the golf and try guts it out. Yeah.
Nah, awesome. And because it's something that we're encouraging a lot of our young student athletes to get into is building that kind of brand, right? Having a good brand is so important. And, you know, for you mentioning giving back and coaching the juniors and stuff, like, that's the kind of image that you're leaving. And so, you know, it's really important to give back. And I love hearing you saying that you are giving back to the juniors and coaching and stuff like that. Is your plan to, you know, base yourself in New Zealand, or, you know, what's your 5-year plan? You graduate from University of Florida. What are you thinking? Like, give everyone an inside scoop into that brand.
What am I thinking? Graduate college, hopefully on a tour over in America.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the number. That's the first plan that comes to mind. Golf in America.
Love it. Awesome. So we are going to be seeing you on the tour.
Try to be.
Yeah, manifesting it.
Do my best.
Awesome. And here's something that's really important, and we talked about it in the car as well: academics.
Yeah.
You know, obviously academics are, how important is it now that you've been through the process? Do you look back and be, you know, how important academics are?
Yeah. Try hard in school.
Try hard in
school. Yeah. I didn't put my best efforts into school. School wasn't one of my main priorities. Yeah. So my advice would be get stuck into your schoolwork, because you don't want to be doing schoolwork after school's finished while all your mates are out having fun. So
Yeah, summer school is not ideal, right?
Nah, it's not.
And I think it's academics are something that you can really just nail from day dot, and being able to have that resume and have that GPA, it does open up other opportunities. It's, where am I going with this? I think in order to play at the highest level, there's a lot of different components to being a student athlete. You've got how important is the social aspect as well for you? Like being that social aspect of golf. Golf is a networking game, right? You get to meet a lot of people. How important do you find, because you're going into a team environment? I feel like golf's a lonely game, and you're shifting from playing in New Zealand, where I'm assuming you did a lot of it by yourself or with your coach. That social aspect of joining this team and in this competitive environment. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, it'll bring me back to the rugby days, because I grew up playing rugby and golf. And it was good to have an individual sport and a team sport, because it kind of taught you how to do both. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being back in a team. It'll be cool. Yeah,
because in New Zealand, there's obviously a lot of the team golf. You get to what is it, provincials? Yeah. And how do you feel like that affects your game, being a part of a team? Because you obviously back yourself. You have to be able to back yourself to play at the high level. Being in that team environment, at the University of Florida, where one guy, if he has a shocking round, could cost the team result. What's your kind of thoughts around being a part of that team environment playing golf?
I love it. We in New Zealand, we have the junior individuals, men's individuals, and it's cool. It creates a good team aspect. You build a relationship together, and I suppose you build trust, responsibility of your own, and as a team, you kind of back each other, you support each other. So I'm really looking forward to that kind of side of things.
And the other thing as well that we get a lot of kids kind of when they join up with us and they decide they want to go to the US and international tournaments, leaving New Zealand, playing internationally, playing in Aussie, playing over in the US and Europe, how important is that, being a golfer, getting that WAGR ranking, how important is that?
It's very, very important. If you don't have a WAGR, you can't really get into any events. So overseas tournaments and travel is very, very needed. Because as a kid, we didn't really think about the WAGR points as much. We didn't really think it was that important. We got told it wasn't really important. So we never really thought of it. But when it came to probably a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, it became really important. I started getting invites to tournaments overseas and getting my name out there, which is really, really key. And overseas, you play a tournament in New Zealand, it's the same kids every tournament. And you go overseas, just
same courses,
same kids. You go to Aussie and there's 3 times the amount of juniors that we have here, and they're all up to that caliber. So it's really, really important to go over there and just try out competing against these guys, because it will help.
Tell us about the Junior US Amateur Open. Did I get that right?
Yeah, US Junior Amateur.
Junior Amateur. Tell us about that experience, because how many Kiwis went over? Was there 3 of you?
3 of us.
3 of you guys. Tell us about that experience and going over with the boys and being a part of that setup. Just give us a bit of a rundown.
It's cool. NZ boys, we're not really used to the big city, the big kind of stuff, so we kind of hang pretty close to each other. I think there's a video of me walking around in bare feet on the course while Josh was playing the final, but it's cool. You go over there, you meet a lot of kids from many different countries, and you get to know contacts, you get to know new friends, and they can help you out in the future with accommodation or whatever. The golf, it's very different, very, very different.
What's different about playing in the US compared to playing in New Zealand? The grass,
the humidity.
Ball travels a bit further.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to have a drink every hole, a whole bottle of water each hole.
Really?
Because you're just sweating it off.
Especially playing in the Californias, Arizonas.
Yeah, because I think it was in Charleston. It was hot. It's just a different climate. You got the Bermuda grass. It's completely different to the bent grass we have in here in New Zealand. Tough to chip, tough to read putts. It's just completely different. So my advice would be go over there and check it out. Because if you want to get good at golf or you want to get to the tours. That's the grass that we playing on. So.
And also wanting to play at college. You know, college athletes play on these courses every week. Every day.
Yeah. Yes.
And, you know, on that note, how important throughout your college process was location?
Yeah. So we were talking to a few colleges, and we had the likes of Iowa State, colleges like that, and you kind of think about it. You don't want to be in snow half like for 3 months of the year, right?
Yeah.
So when Florida jumped up, it was eyes kind of went big.
Year-round golf.
Awesome. Yeah.
Year-round golf, super important.
Year-round golf, good courses everywhere. A lot of great golfers in Florida, and it's just a perfect spot.
Yeah, and I guess to finish off, we won't keep you too long. We know we got to go to your visa interview. Facilities. Tell me about, you obviously went and visited University of Florida facilities. I'm assuming you've seen some other kind of college facilities, played at different events over in the US. What's the difference between what they have access to as student athletes over in the US compared to here?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Yeah,
it's a lot different.
Tell us about the University of Florida facilities.
So we went there. We were there for 3 or 4 days, and we went to golf every day. They have TrackMans. They have about 7 TrackMans, chipping range, golf carts, a whole golf course right on campus.
Yeah.
Which is in pristine nick most of the year round. It's right there. Because I'm not gonna use a car, so I have a little electric scooter I'm gonna take over there.
Yeah.
So ride there to the golf course each day, and it's perfect. You got a golf course,
and you can just walk on and just play.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what about like the strength and conditioning aspect? A lot of guys, you know, probably don't look at golf where strength and conditioning is a massive part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, how important is strength and conditioning for you being, you know, at the level you're at?
It's huge. I try to go to the gym 5 days a week. You just got to keep up on top of it.
And what kind of stuff are you doing in the gym?
You do strength, I do strength on Mondays, Tuesdays, and then it's kind of mobility, movement, and towards the end of the week it's just kind of recovery.
Yeah, no bodybuilding stuff?
I did for a while, but
you're going to Florida, mate.
It was no good, mate. I did for a while, but it turned golf to crap. So that wasn't.
Yeah,
that
you need that. You need that mobility.
Yeah.
But nah, man, look, it's like we're all rooting for you. It's super exciting. It's going to be a massive journey. You know, I know Amra and I talk about you a fair bit. You know, you're a testament to kind of why we do this. You know, going to a big time program from a small time town, and really kind of living the dream that, you know, a lot of kids want to live. So, you know, any just words of advice for any, you know, 15, 16-year-old golfers that are sitting here being like, you know, I want to be like Zack.
Work hard in school, work hard at golf. Do both.
Do both?
Yeah, do both.
Magic. All right, bro. Absolute pleasure. And for everyone watching, if you want to go and play college golf, just come talk to me or Amrit. See you later.